number of episode 1s, which I find is very weird, but okay. So, Kabukicho Night Festival, A Certain Transient's Tale. We'll start with. I still haven't decided a voice on Sphinx. I'll do my best. I mean, yeah, I can do Tails, but I don't know. Where am I? What am I even doing here? I forged through plants and trees I've never seen the likes of before. Travel roads that are neither stone nor earth, and observe everything around me. Many buildings loom in the distance like obelisks, emitting light from the countless open holes on their surfaces. As I advance in no particular direction, I notice a lake surrounded by stone and conclude this must be an oasis in this strange new world. Who am I? That I know. I am the one who sees the sun and Aru rise and set. My name is Sphinx. What I don't know is how I ended up in this world and what kind of place it is. I take a walk around the oasis-like spot, sifting through my memories to see how much I'm missing in there. This is one weird oasis. It's got all these bushes and huge trees growing around it, but there's barely any water I can see. Judging from how the sky is pitch black, it has to be night in this world. There's no water clock nearby, so I can't tell how far away dawn is. Oh yeah, water clock, because of Aru and Egypt stuff. I can't tell directions either. There are lights in just about every direction, so I can't see any stars. There's no way I'll find the pyramid, and I can't even piece together if the weird buildings and towns in themselves are if the weird buildings are towns in themselves or temples. As I stand back and wallow in my own bafflement, I hear the screech of a beast from behind. Quickly turning around, I see a large shadow approaching me through the bushes. It has to be some terrifying creature. I know it. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh no, oh no, oh no! I'm too young to die! Oops. When it comes to riddles or battles of wits, few can match me. But this body of mine has barely grown. There's just no way I can win in a fight. You say that. I've got to run. Luckily, this world is bright at night, so my little legs can carry me towards the lights as far as they can go, and... Jeez, did I lose it? I really hope that thing doesn't catch up. Welcome to Kabukicho Academy. Exhausted and having no idea what way I came or what I passed, I end up at a strange building. It looks like I unconsciously slipped through the iron fence in my desperation to escape the beast. I survey the building, then reach for the first door I find. It opens easily, without the need for a key. Well, it is a night school, so I guess it would be unlocked. Although, well, let's see, this came out like 2022 originally? So I guess schools, well, no, Well, what I'm trying to get at here is, depending on the school, is like most schools will just lock their doors, like once school like before and after school starts. So you have to. So if you wanted to get in, like you had to like buzz to get in. They called it like a protection for the students and whatnot. Which, in all honesty, they should do that. They should probably do that more. But I digress. I dash inside as if fleeing from rain that has just started to fall. There sure are a lot of people in here. Lots of species I've never seen before, too. They're pretty easygoing now, sure. But that doesn't guarantee they're friendly. I find a hiding place out of sight and observe them in action. Most of them are sitting in chairs with some form of text open in front of them. Meanwhile, one of their number is speaking to them at the head of the room. Now I'm wondering how it was for me in kindergarten and preschool, being introduced to a teacher. I barely remember that kind of stuff. I just remember a priest reading the sacred scriptures to his congregation? Does that make this place a temple? In a way, yes. Well, whatever. Either way, if it's a place that's got a lot of people, that's all I need. I don't know what kind of ritual they got going on, but I've got to find a nice spot while they're all packed in there. I run through the building here and there, keeping my profile low and person out of sight. Eventually, I managed to find a small empty room with its lights turned off. I slowly, cautiously opened the door. No one inside, just like I expected. That's a big room. Alright, time to get started. I raise my index finger to the ceiling-covered heavens, and the quill hiding in my wings comes fluttering down. Huh? Or it should have. Nothing actually happens. I reach behind and begin groping through my wings, wondering if I lost my quill when I made landfall in this world. Oh, there it is. Whew, I actually have it. Hiding my hand sure is a pain. Oh well. Let's see. This spot on the wall should do nicely. Back in my homeworld, I simply had to will it to do so, and this quill would flutter off and right anywhere I couldn't reach. Pondering over why it won't fly, I take it in my hand and write my hieroglyphs in a random spot in the wall. Alright, here we go! That's one playground for me already! What are you doing? I stand atop the biggest desk in the room and make my proclamation. This place is now my temple, and I intend to enjoy a little game with its occupants. Reaching by my bag, I pull out the big mask hidden in my wings and put it on. Stand in my sanctuary! I command you to do my bidding! Huh? Wait, what's going on? Nothing's happening. Strange. Places I write my symbols on with my pen normally change in the sanctuaries. Sanctuaries from which there is no escape unless those inside fulfill the conditions I lay down. Are you telling me that Sphinx could have been a world rep? Yet nothing happens. No changes occur around me. I'm been feeling strange since arriving in this Tokyo place. How did you know it was Tokyo? Really out of sorts. Things I could do easily back home I can't do here. Damn it! Nothing! Okay, let me try this back out again from somewhere else. I've just been summoned to Tokyo, and I don't know anything about the world I've been brought into. What do I need in order to use my rule here? How do you know about rules? Of that, I have no idea. Vexed that nothing is going my way, I run through the halls and rooms, leaving my marks wherever I can. Little did I know, if I hadn't lost my cool, I would have noticed, quite easily too. The hard, slab-like object I touched when pulling out my mask. It wasn't until much later that I finally discovered the tablet-like phone that had become buried in my wings. Wait, hold on. So, you just... So, like, if you arrive in Tokyo, you're just automatically given a phone. And we spend, like, how much money on phones? And these people get it, like, magic. Like, oh, here you go. These guys just magically pop up into Tokyo. This version of Tokyo, anyway. And they get a phone. And we spend from $100 to $3,000 USD to get a phone. And that's before the plan. Sure. Oh, sure. Our queen's as fickle as ever. What? Queen? Is a pharaoh here in Tokyo too? Is someone there? Yeah! And so the chaos begins, the day before the K-Fest ritual. Just put like a to be continued right there. JoJo to be continued. Okay, so now we have Ellie's tale. Oh, this is gonna be super late. I took a long break and I just blame ADD. My ADD on this. Focused on something else for like hours. Back when I became a vampire, back when I became famous, back when I looked down on the city alone on the rooftop of a high-rise, I found that these eyes, which were no longer human, could see every last inch of the lights of Kabukicho. I thought about how I had all of that radiance to myself, how I ruled it all. I kind of liked it. Me? I chose to be alone, to be myself. I don't worry over other people and whatever they say. It really doesn't move me. That night, standing up on the roof all by myself, I made the choice to keep on living like this. The person I shared blood with was no longer in Kabukicho. I decided from that day on, I would be queen in her stead. Wait, so the vampire that turned you or the person that turned you might still be in this game, is what you're saying. Oh, hello. Oh, Suzuka. Yeah, it's fine, really. I haven't forgotten we're going to school together today. We're meeting up at the safe house, right? Let me just change into my uniform before I head over. Do you have mist form or bat form? Sorry, bad joke. The day before K-Fest, I head to my school, Kabukicho Academy with Suzuka. Suzuka knows how fond I am of skipping class, so she comes over to drag me out whenever something important is going down. I don't think there's anyone in Tokyo who doesn't know me, but I'll introduce myself just in case. I am Ellie, she who walks the dark streets of Kabukicho alone. Who calls me that, you ask? Beats me. But if you keep saying something, it sticks, right? True. Very true. At least it's better than being known as a sad, sorry girl who got turned into a vampire, right? Yeah? If you got pity, I don't want it. I become what and who I want to be. Got it? I'm the faker who makes it. Oh. There are people out there who think way too hard about things. They have a lot to say about me. I'm stopping by the classroom first. You want to head straight to the changing room? Sure, I'm cool with it. I'll bring my costume over. I probably totally changed Ellie's voice and Suzuka's in a matter of a couple of hours. After arriving at school, I part with Suzuka and head for the changing room. As I walk through the halls, I can't help but hear what other students are saying behind my back. Wow, she's actually here today. Are you sure you're not going to greet her? Miss Ellie? Hell, I could ask you the same, but I bet you're the scared one here. I mean, can you blame me? We're all students at the same school, but not once has she even made the attempt to approach us. Talk about reserve. Maybe she's the one that's scared of us. I mean, there's no way in hell, but it's fun to think about. It's pretty huge that she's the student model at all, but it does feel as though we live in totally different worlds. A few students feign disinterest while watching my every move. Oh, that shocking beauty. That aura she's got. That feels like she'd make her your thrall just by getting close to her. Bruh. Some people want that. Wow, Lady Ellie is as beautiful whenever I lay my unworthy eyes upon her. Joy to the world that we were able to witness her rare attendance. None of you get how sad Ellie's life is. Tone it down, boys. She was a human before being bitten by a vampire made into one. Makes me want to cry just thinking about it. Tone it down, guys. Whenever I show up at school, everyone talks about me. One time, a certain nosy someone happened to see it happen and got really worried about me. There seems to be a distance between you and your classmates. You're not being shunned at school, are you? They asked. Well, I told them that I didn't give a damn about it. I didn't care how true that assessment was. You're stronger than most people. As time passes, I become more and more like her. More like the vampire among vampires who made me like this. The ancestor, who you won't find in this town anymore, no matter how hard you look. We need this character to be made Life Wonders. I remember her. She was colder, more beautiful, and more terrifying than anyone. Vampire logic holds that with the ancestor gone, her first thrall, me, is supposed to grow more like her. Sometimes I find myself thinking, why, of all people, she picked me? She only caught a glimpse of me before the act. What about me did she choose? Sorry for the wait, Ellie. So, do we begin? As much as I like to say I can get changed on my own, a dress is a different story. Yeah, I figured. It would be a real tragedy if you tried to force this brand new custom-made piece on and ended up tearing it somewhere. You're right about that, Suzuka. And what a dress this is! Like, just one look at the fabric and I can tell it's on another level from the stuff you find in stores. Your experience as a model who's worn all sorts of brands sure is showing. Yeah, that's what makes Arachne so impressive. Arachne strikes again. We sort of fell into knowing each other out of nowhere and have our clashes, but she's always getting better at her craft. Pretty proud to call her my friend. Well, I like this a lot. Come on, Suzuka, help me out. I want to get it on as soon as I can. Sure. Our queen's as fickle as ever. Suddenly, I hear a sound coming from somewhere else in the changing room. At least, I think I did. Perhaps I'm just a little tiny bit excited and don't even realize it. Ellie? Huh? What's up? Suzuka quietly touches my hand, stopping me from unbuttoning my blazer. Good. She says nothing and glances toward the changing room lockers, encouraging me to follow her gaze. Is someone there? Answering my whisper with a nod, she suddenly begins creeping toward one of them. Now, hold on. People outside Kabukicho think this school's a haunted house, right? It isn't, of course, but it's got a rougher crowd compared to the other schools. God, I still can't think of the academy. What about the school Licho and others are from? I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the roughest school. Still, it's not like we have people who hide in a locker and peep on someone changing. That's not us. Is someone there? A child? Hell, I thought it was a moron from our school hiding away in...
I'm not a child, and I'm not a moron. Oh, and I'm definitely not scared of either of you. I'm Sphinx, who descended to this land from a pillar of light.
You can take off that mask if it's hard to talk on. If it's hard to talk with it on, you know.
I was just about to do that. Alright, really, I'm not taking it off just because you told me to. Oh, come on. It went on so easily, too. Don't just stand there staring, you two. Let me get this thing off.
There. Whoa, Ellie, easy. Hey, mask kid, you okay? God, I gotta get the Sphinx voice back. All I did was give this Sphinx kid the tiniest flick on the forehead. Wait, you embarrassed? You embarrassed the Sphinx? You did the barest finger flick? And off he went flying, a single crack tracing down his mask before it split cleanly in two. Crap. It looks like a pretty expensive design, too. Am I gonna have to pay for that? Ah! Want to kill you to be more gentle? You could level a pyramid with a punch like that. A pharaoh's gotta be gentler with her subjects. Oh my goodness. He's so cute. Ah! Ah! The face that pops out from under the mask steals my heart at first sight. Hey, where'd you come from? So your name is Sphinx, right? What's your favorite thing? How about going out for dinner? Ellie? I don't like it. I don't like the look in those eyes. Stay away, Pharaoh! By Pharaoh, do you mean me? Don't know what that's all about, but sorry for breaking your mask. Luckily, it looks like the mask absorbed most of the impact. Imagine if it had been just your head that went flying. You freaking embarrassed the child. And what? Oh no! Oh gods! I'm gonna get gobbled up! Oh, someone! Anyone! Oh wait, kid! Huh? He didn't have to sprint off like that, did he? Was I really that scary? Not a face I recognize. But he's probably a new kid in the elementary department if he's on campus. Apologize to the poor little guy next time you see him. I'll let the teachers know about this later. Anyway, out of our hands. How about we get back to trying on that dress? Yeah, let's. I'll take a photo once it's on and send it to the guild. Suzuka and I were probably a little too relaxed. With K-Fest so close and all. Looking back now, I can't help but think that things wouldn't have ended up like that if we just told the teachers right away. The hell's this? Some kind of curse? Who scribbled up this spell-looking thing? Been talking to me lately. Alright. Kresnik's Tale. I'm doing a lot of talking this chapter.
Check it out.
Being a teacher is a tough job, even compared to my former profession. Every day is a struggle with children who know no fear. Kabukicho Academy Festival, or K-Fest in student parlance, is a school event happening in 5 days. When class is adjourned, I leave the faculty office to do my patrols around the school, as I normally do. Bye-bye, teach! Smell you tomorrow! God, I just think, play Gary's theme whenever I see smell you. Take care. Also, please make sure to address your teachers properly. And no running in the halls. That means sliding is A-okay then? Wrong voice. That means sliding is A-okay then? Yeah! See you, Mr. Krez! Well, at least he got the mister. Obviously not! How in the world are you intending to slide any... Wait! I tell you... Seeing off the departing students, I go around the still-lit classrooms to check on the students preparing for K-Fest. They must have figured it was time for me to arrive, because the trap they laid on the door could not be more obvious. If I fell for it, the children would laugh at me for being a sucker. And if I avoided it with ease, they would complain that I was such a buzzkill. No, you should totally avoid it. You need to Pull a Kakashi. You need to pull a Kakashi and just say, I think you're a bunch of idiots after you fall for the trap. A laughable double bind. Good grief. What would I do then? After some thought, I come to my answer. No, he dodged it! I had a feeling it was too obvious. It was a bit too easy to read, I'm afraid. Even I could. After dodging the blackboard eraser falling from atop the door with a straight face, I step on the banana peel floor, pretending not to have noticed it. Good old bait and switch works every time. I win this one. Ah, come on. And here I thought he wouldn't fall for such an obvious trap. Alright. You get your snack. School store or vending machine. You got me. I have to ask though. Do you really have time to be playing these tricks? What happened to your festival preparations? Every day on the job, I ask myself if I've done a good job being a teacher to students of my kind. And that's what makes a good teacher, if you're asking that. Even with eyes rivaling the power of the vampiric ancestor, I can see no answer. How difficult the role of educator. How am I to approach my students, fellow walkers of the night? I command a distressing array of knowledge in hunting them down, and slaying them, and teaching them, guiding them, all far out in my field. When I do something I think is for their benefit, half the time it has the opposite effect. Speaking from a position of authority sometimes only invites a rebellion, leading me into trouble I could do without. You sure you don't need to do band practice? Aren't you going to be performing during K-Fest? No sweat, man! I can play everything necessary with my eyes closed. Probably. Here we go. I'll make this a day I work for class, you know? Like, that's what K-Fest is supposed to be all about, right? Yeah, just like I said, K-Fest is by us, for us. It's got a nice ring to it. The students at Kabukicho Academy are growing closer and closer, and more unified as they prepare for the festival. Or they appear to, anyway. Many of them are youth in search of a place to belong. Though their species may differ, some of their backgrounds and situations allow them to easily relate to one another. Thus, I feel the students act as positive influences on each other, for now. Looks like preparations are going well. Oh my, look at this costume. It's quite well made. Dude, Mr. Krez, you get it! We made this all by ourselves, too. Pretty incredible, huh? See, we can do it if we try. Not like I didn't know that from the start, though. Well, I've got a request for a group of talented go-getters such as yourselves. Would you mind hearing me out for a little? What's up, Teach? Why get all serious all of a sudden? I'm sure you remember mentioning the exchange students. Well, they've been decided. I apologize for the short notice, but I've received word that they'll attend class for the first time in 4 days. Wait, that's the day before K-Fest! Why they gotta butt in on our special day? I know it ain't your fault, Mr. Krez, but there's no reason to mix our stuff up with someone else's event. That's way too sudden, and the timing's the worst! L for Kabukicho. Oh, God. Yeah, someone said that this was Gen Z talk. I don't know what Gen Z talk is like. So somebody out there is going to have to confirm for me. Wow, he fainted. Most of the students argue and complain. One plops to the ground in protest, and chaos engulfs the classroom. Kabukicho is a place of great skepticism and hostility towards outsiders, being as full of exiles from the other land as it is. Feeling an invader coming into their territory on the horizon, anxiety grips them and is expressed as outward hostility. I understand what you want to say. Kabukicho has its own way of doing things, of course. But if I'm not mistaken, not turning down those who drift into your streets and into your halls is another one of your stances, no? How about you see the exchange of students for yourself first? Then decide on whether to shun or accept. Oh yeah, Tsukuyomi is part of Shinjuku Academy. Tsukuyomi is part of the Shinjuku Academy. I don't know why I kept thinking that he's part of Kabukicho. The students all fall silent, exchanging looks and evaluating the situation. Their silence is finally interrupted when a student flings the door open from outside and bursts into the room.
Sorry I'm late. Vibes are kind of rancid, so I'm gonna put on some music.
Really? You're just gonna blast some music with vibes this bad? Come on, read the room!
Yeah, I read the room and the vibes sucked. That's why we need music. Thank me for making the mood immaculate.
You know, I feel like I've calmed down. Okay, Teach, you got me. Exchange students can come if they want.
Like they needed your permission. It was gonna happen whether you like it or not.
Oh, you come around then? Thank you. Sorry for putting this kind of pressure on you all. Oh, one sorry ain't gonna cut it, Teach. This is a deal, you hear? And there's something we want in exchange. The student is grinning as he holds the newly made costume in his arms. We'll play nice, but only if the exchange students and you, teachers, join K-Fest. Weren't they going to do that anyway? With that, the students push not just one, but 4 costumes on me. I head back to the faculty office. I can't help but grimace at how much I let the kids push me around. How difficult the role of an educator. Just coming in to work and dealing with them gives me no end of trouble. If I had my hands this full normally, would I be able to pull them back onto the right path should they stray? Spending so much of my life hunting down my own kind, can I truly serve as an example to any of them? Plagued by my usual worries, I think of the students gathered at the academy as usual. I think of the hope I found here in Tokyo after a life spent slaying my own and being called a hero for it had worn me down. Sorry. As a hope in my breast born from spending so much time bringing others to their ends. A vow made to the gun and knife in my pocket to protect these streets that never sleep and this place for children who have nowhere else. The costume of a vampiric count, is it? Fate certainly has a sense of humor. Though, to one who knows everything there is to know about my kind, this costume certainly fits. I like how there was a Masanori in the corner. A little mini Masanori. Probably because I like Macedonian. A few days later, on the day before K-Fest, I wore the costume as agreed. With no lesson scheduled for today, I had imagined matters would end peacefully. Kresnik. Kresnik, we got a problem. Come with me quickly. Tokyo is a land connected to 23 other worlds, and it has a wealth of visitors. I'm just about to learn once again how easily everything I think I know, all the experience I've built up, can be overturned. These are short, but they all fit together. It'd probably be about over an hour total. Sundayu's tale. What about my tale? Well, I guess I wouldn't really have one. I guess I technically already had mine. Now, hold on. Okay. What are we doing here? You're the one who wanted to talk over a meal, and that's why we're out in the park. Yeah, but out here? It almost feels like a picnic. Didn't the idea to take me to a nice little food stall under the train tracks occur to you? Come on, man. I even helped you with that mountain of markups, too. You gotta be kidding me. I snatch a few price balls out of my former business rival's shopping bag while complaining. You never did stop playing the fool, did you? You know as well as I do how safe a spot this is, Mr. Sundayu. Guess you didn't spend all that time chasing me around for nothing. You really got a good read on how I think. There is no cover around the bench, and it hasn't been tampered with, and any vegetation is a ways away, giving a clear view of the whole park. There's no playground equipment nearby, and that trash can by the bench is completely empty. We got a good breeze blowing, and no one passes by this spot. It's a perfect place for two teachers to talk about nothing after school. I pull the wrapper off a rice ball and start talking. What about? Can't be anything other than this exchange student system we're dealing with. Looks like the big three guilds are using the system in a real positive way. But word has it, the person who suggested this whole system in the first place is a key part of the big three. Meaning that the hidden purpose of this is the opposite of improving relations. Just let you send spies into enemy territory at will. Though if you don't have a pawn with enough influence to make your school do what you want, you can't really make much use of this little system here. It seems the system was sabotaged by another guild and left a hollow shell of its former vision. I took a look into the details of the current exchange venture myself. And there is no sign that a third party interfered with either Shinjuku or Kabukicho. Whatever its purpose is, it's not a guild competition. I imagine the locals in charge of their respective schools simply wanted to make use of a well-made system that already existed. Matches with the info I sniffed up myself pretty closely. I'd say we can go with that for now. Indeed, the risk I suspect is low. Our students can enjoy their K-Fest. The only problem is whether our students will accept the exchange students without incident. Mr. Sandayu, I do hope you will assist them in their being welcomed. Where'd that come from? I'm simply alluding to the fact that you are the most experienced tactician on this battlefield. I hope for your cooperation. Well, bit of a master of changing... Dang it. I'm a bit of a master of changing myself to blend in, given the time and place. You even changed your tone of voice since the days when we fought. And as perceptive as ever, old K. Not for nothing that you were the old ace of the department. I'm shaking in my boots over here. The voice is part of how I keep my roles straight when I switch between charming Kabukicho teacher and my other identities. You really are a shoe-in for the teaching profession, unlike myself. I do wish I could do what you do. Well, I'm a little tired of the old, bloody way I lived. I wanted to try living the opposite kind of life a little. To teach the children of my kind and guide them to live among them. Fortunately, I simply lack the talent. Nothing. I spoke and touched too much. Forget I said anything. You can't discard your role. You can't discard your role in this world. It always follows you wherever you go. The name Sendayu Momochi. Not many people know me, but the real ones do. I'm the great master of the Iga ninja, see? I've trained a ton of ninja in my day, forging them into deceiving, killing machines before sending them off into the world. If you ask me, I'd make a good teacher. I'd humbly suggest I would. That's why I slipped so easily into my undercover role as teacher here in Tokyo. It comes in handy. But, hear me out, okay? That stuff I taught, it's all ninja moves. Way of surviving the harsh world of the Warring States era. That time of suspicion, when children deceived parents and pupils, outwitted their masters in order to become ninja. And that's why all my life as a ninja master, I've known that one day, one of my pupils, maybe all of them, will turn their blades on me. And that's why, old K, I don't believe a bit in any of that living together stuff. Dang. And this is something I would normally not say. But when it comes to aptitude, you're way more... Nah, enough of this. I'm just doing what I do best, to make a life here in Tokyo. And that's all. Teaching's just a means to an end for me. If there's no money in it, excuse me, if there's money in it, I'll take any dirty job. All right, this kind of job is not what I had in mind. What's with this costume? What have the kids gone and made Mr. K do? Wear this during work without asking any questions until K-Fest? Seriously? A few days after our chat in the park, on the day before K-Fest, I find myself walking the school halls in an awfully loud costume. And I've got to say, my dear foolish students here in Kabukicho sure are used to dragging teachers into their little schemes. Whoa! Sendayu's actually wearing the costume! Dude, it looks so good on him. Wait, where? I want to see too. Whoa, you're right. He looks amazing. Who made that thing anyway? They're like a genius tailor. Why, I'm glad he can move in it all right. It's made from alloys we forged back home, so it's really tight. It's not too robust, but since it's cosplay, we want form over function. Yeah, we really do. this super fits with the school vibe, too. It's like totally wild. Sandayu's super Duahan right now. That's Mr. Sandayu to you? To all of you. Wait, this costume's handmade? You got a bright future in blacksmithing, let me tell you. Huh. Form over function? Or... So what would function be? Duahan's that headless knight from Tirnanog or something, right? Ah, I see. I see. I'll play the part then. Marching around school until K-Fest is over, giving anyone I find a scare. You'd better be ready. You brought this on yourselves. Sandayu's getting into this even more than we are. Hell yeah! Let's keep it going for tomorrow. After the students and I share a nice chuckle together, they head back to their classroom and I continue down the hall. Getting along with my students is part of the job. Keeping relations pleasant makes a lot of things easier. So I'm not, getting carried away after being showered with compliments. Nothing of the sort. Wait, who am I making excuses to? In any case, I continue my patrol through the academy. There are no classes today, so the halls aren't as bustling as they normally are. But since there's folks like the ones I just ran into here to prep for the festival, it's better to be safe than sorry. Gotta hand it to the kids though. They've got good heads on their shoulders. The schools already look like an old-fashioned Western mansion, so treating it as a spooky castle for the festival really cuts down the need to decorate. Though I guess they purposely messed up the walls to thicken them. Huh? What's this? This is just an actual mess. A mess and graffiti? Hidden among the students' decorative mess is something written on the wall that catches my eye. It's written small to not draw attention, but the shape and air about it reminds me of something similar back home. Is this a spell or something? Who went and did this? I hurry back to the faculty office and bring my coworker Old K up to speed. On the way, I detect similar spells marked on pillars and in floor corners as I pass by. We allowed an outsider to infiltrate the campus then? When did this happen? When did they do this? I saw no such irregularities during my patrol yesterday. Conditions allowing the spells to be cast probably only came about today. I've seen these symbols before. I sift through the drawers of my memory, rifling them for knowledge of other worlds that my career as a spy and saboteur has given me. I remember that in Aru, there are two types of written characters, the ones you use in everyday life and the ones you use in rituals and spells and stuff. Now I can't read them, but if my memories are right, we're dealing with the latter, hieroglyphics, sacred symbols. The moment I finish my observation, the whole school building begins to tremble and shake. Feels nothing like an earthquake. Two of us are immediately engulfed in the bright light. Alright. And last but not least, Tsukuyomi's tale. Why do I shine like the moon above in this city of night? To make you sparkle, of course. Oh, God. I am here as a mere stage device, a spotlight providing illumination as you act out the tale of your life. You can shine on even brighter. I know it. And it's my role to make you realize so. You see, I think of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, Tsukuyomi, and then I think of this Tsukuyomi, and they couldn't be any more different. Because Persona 4 Tsukuyomi is it's supposed to be, it's the Minazuki personality. If I recall the story properly. And that guy is like complete opposite of this. Alright, anyway. It's been hard out there in the outside world, hasn't it? Let me wipe those tears. See? You're all clean. Oh, God. This is a special place made for you to shine. A stage of only you and me, away from all the world's troubles and foibles. Did I actually say foibles correctly? Look back to the audience. Is not the shadow of my light cast too great for you to see who's watching you? To them, it is those who watch the play and those who do not. To us, it is those who take the stage and those who do not. The world is divided into two, into here and there. Let us take to this stage then, and start our own story. I make my usual appearance to the fanfare of my black-suited staff, and my underclassmen appear baffled. Yeah, no joke. They don't look too terribly experienced in the ways of nightlife, so I have to wonder if the performance was a bit overstimulating. Well, half of this appearance of mine belongs to my younger brother, famous in our homeland. I can't blame anyone for being taken by its appeal. So you're here to escort Brandon, and you were also picked out as an exchange student? That's right, Shiro. I was chosen to go to Kabukicho Academy as the third-year ambassador. Okay, so who's our first-year ambassador? And who's our elementary ambassador? I'm stunned, honestly. That one as famous as I am in Kabukicho would end up picked for this trip. How fearsome coincidences are.
Are you kidding me? What's the point of sending someone who basically lives in Kabukicho there on an exchange trip? This system isn't making any sense.
Preaching to the choir. But wait, wouldn't going with someone who knows the lay of the land be reassuring for Brandon? You've got a point there, Kingo. You're really getting to the heart of the matter. And you, Ryota, thanks for trusting me. I intend to see to it that no harm or worry comes to your friend. So you don't need to worry about any of that. I give my answer to Brandon's friends who stand by him through thick and thin. That's how they are as far as I remember. At least the three core members, as well as Toji and Moritaka. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, if you didn't know, in other loops, in most other loops, Toji and Moritaka are elsewhere. Koji and Moritaka are generally elsewhere. It's rare that Shiro, Kingo, and Ryota are apart from the summoners. Though, to come out and say my sacred artifact holds nothing but joy would be too direct, too artless. And that's how I got the long and short about the exchange trip in Shinjuku a few days ago. Barely any moves to begin with. And this is what you call us out here to tell us? And, like, having an exchange student show up at the school won't really have much of an effect on Kabukicho itself, right? Hey! An exchange trip means that the boss from over in Shinjuku is going to be a Kabukicho denizen? Now I'm jealous. I want to get exchanged from Umamichi. Oh God, I finally remember the school name now. From Umamichi and have a school life of the hard knocks with the boss. Texel's desire to go wild aside, I'm not expecting this to be a nice and quiet exchange trip. Kabukicho Academy is a school of exiles and outcasts. They're not going to accept someone from the outside easily. Especially with K-Fest a day away and in a group solidarity at its peak. Brandon is one thing, but even you might find yourself in a rough spot if you make a wrong move, King and Knight. I'm still kind of sleepy. Quit yawning and straighten up, Ellie! You're the guildmaster around here. Anyway, there's something I wanted to ask. What are we gonna do about Brandon's living quarters? I didn't even think of that. Can't we just find some random shop that operates during the day and have them spare a sofa? Don't be ridiculous, Tetsuya. We're talking about another guildmaster here. We can't afford to suffer any attacks on the head of the summoners, random or planned. That'll put us at odds with West Shinjuku. Now, I'm not afraid of a fight, but what I don't want to do is starting a fire. We've also got a lot of members who can't go around showing their faces. I thank you for the consideration. His voice is very different than what I gave him years ago. I thank you. I can't do it, Liam O'Brien. I can sure as hell try. I thank you for the consideration. What are we to do then? I'm thinking of having Brandon stay in the Outlaw's safe house. This is something I can't simply decide unilaterally, so I've gathered the Queen and the rest of you here to discuss it. Wait, that's all? You don't need to ask me. I definitely... Hold it, Tetsuox. You live here in Kabukicho. Calm down and think about it. You live here in Kabukicho. Tetsuya, that's just what I expected from you. Your will to protect these sleepless streets is powerful. I'd like to listen. Tsukuyomi, if I'm not mistaken, sounds like you want us to take an outsider just because you personally say so. You're not actually trying to push the outlaws into accepting it, are you? His words are aggressive, and unfortunately for me, not untrue. How will I respond? At the very least, as of right now, my push to bring Brandon into the hideout is indeed personal. Goodness me, Tsukuyomi, could you not stand to share the truth of your heart more with others? I am sure then that even Tetsuya would accept and understand. You believe this will benefit the guild, don't you, Tsukuyomi? A smile creeps over my face. Calling Mr. Kresnik over was the right choice indeed. Though a teacher at Kabukicho Academy, both parties have agreed to have him as part of the guild. So he was part of the guild in this loop. A splendid answer, Mr. Kresnik. Though I cannot give a detailed explanation, or perhaps it would be more correct to say that I do not know how.
Oh God, I haven't done the Shino voice in years either. God. King of Night? You mean to say it is nowhere to be found in your memories?
Shino throws me a lifeboat conveniently. Adults always do come through for me. Quit acting like you're young. Had there been adults like this to guide my siblings and me back then, I'm losing my train of thought. Now, as you all know, I am Tsukuyomi, the one who reads the waxing and waning of the moon and night sky. Illuminating our guild's way forward is my job. While I won't say I know everything that lies ahead, I can see much of it. To know history is to be able to predict some of the future. The movements of the moon are also read from the accumulation of the past. That's why his sacred artifact is considered a world pillar. Clever writing. Because he's essentially the guy of night. Therefore, the long and short of what lies ahead of us can be read as an extension and continuation of the past. That being said, though, I am only able to read what is good for me. And that's what I meant when I said I don't know everything that lies ahead. Now I have communicated my readings to the guild, and thus fulfilling in my small way my role as King of Night. While one might expect my time spent here in Kabukicho with Brandon to be an open book to me, given how much I would anticipate such an enjoyable event, as clouds drift before the full moon and winds sweep away the flowers in bloom, so does joy in life seem tailor-made to be ruined. To think such a future would be clouded, even to my trained eyes. So you're saying that we are dealing with something uncertain that even your clairvoyance cannot see? Seeing me nod at Marchosius's observation, the guild members exchange looks with each other. From this lack of reading, then, we can judge that if something is going to happen, then it will likely start with me, the exchange student, or something that happens in Kabukicho Academy. My basis for this conclusion, however, is rather lacking, which is why I want Brandon close by, as a personal convenience. always so roundabout, as usual. If it's for the guild's benefit at the end of the day, there's no reason for me to complain. I'll follow orders like a soldier should. Go ahead, do what you want. Thank you, Tetsuya. Though you could stand to be a touch more forthcoming in your answers, I do appreciate you volunteering to voice the thoughts that everyone has had a hard time admitting, though. Brandon isn't an unknown entity in this guild. The group would have agreed to Tsukuyomi's proposal easily. Yet Tetsuya went out of his way to lodge a complaint in an effort to make sure the organization would not be used for anything other than its original purpose. The Outlaws is a guild formed for the outcast of Kabukicho. He must have thought if our rogue I's weren't dotted and T's weren't crossed, we would be in danger of losing sight of our goal. And that's our Tetsuya, a cool and exterior demeanor, but with a more caring heart than any other. Adorable, really. Do I have everyone's agreement? Regardless of the fact, we'll have to prepare for the unknown. The outlaws each nod their head at my question. Thank you. Very well then. I'll invite Brandon to our neighborhood first thing tomorrow. With the meeting over with, the guild members each return to their jobs and normal lives. I begin heading for the venue's break room to take a breather when I am stopped by someone calling out to me. Hold on there, Tsukiyomi. There's something I'd like to speak with you with, as a teacher at our local academy. Oh, my. Of course, Mr. Kresnik. What might you need? Now it hurts to ask you to do this right after the exchange has been set in stone, but... A few days later, I take to the stage with Brandon. Now comes the question. Will my little stint in Kabukicho Academy prove memorable enough to stay with me? And then there's another... Oh, there's my tale. Okay, fine. Alright, here's my answer. Although we kind of already know everything. It happened a few days after I'd been selected to be Shinjuku Academy's second-year ambassador in the exchange trip to Kabukicho Academy. I find myself in Tsukiyomi's host club at his invitation. Brandon! Boss! Welcome! So you really did come to Kabukicho! Let me know when you're stepping out into town. Yakuza base gambling den from hell? I'll accompany you anywhere. Tetsuox. You're just gonna get yelled at by Tetsuo again if you go on like that, Tetsuox. It's not like Brandon joined the Outlaws and, become one of us. Brandon, if you're going to use the Outlaws safe house, you're going to have to follow our rules. I may be your underclassman, but back in school, but as a senior Outlaws member, I'll take it on myself to teach you the ins and outs of Kabukicho and... Yeah, Ibaraki, reel it in. Don't get carried away. Brandon's not a pupil or anything, but the king's guest and an outsider. Brandon, if you're going to live in Kabukicho for a bit, act like a guest. Got it? God. I don't know how to answer that. Glad to be here, Tetsuox. Glad you are, boss. Wish I could get picked to be an exchange student, too. No, please no. I'll go ask the big boss of Umamichi tomorrow. Or Yamamoto of the student council. They're gonna say no. You really don't have any idea what's going on, do you, Tetsuox? Am I gonna have to explain it to you again later? Glad to see you're all getting along with the Kabukicho crowd, Brandon. It's easy in that regard. Many of the outlaws welcome me with open arms. One of them, however, keeps his distance and watches me watches my interactions with a more mixed expression. What's there to be all happy about? Even Suzuka's giggling like a schoolgirl. Trying to play the role of bare-knuckle punk, but can't leave the squareness behind, huh, Tetsuya? That's the beauty of it, Your Majesty. We can do as we wish because we have someone like Tetsuya around. Showered with praise from the people who caused him the most trouble, Tetsuya lets out a sigh. Thanks, you two, for giving me the thankless role barely fit for a stray dog. But if you're really grateful, how about you show it with work? You two are the faces of our organization. Oh, you in the suits. Can you pass out the drinks to everyone? I want to give a toast now that Brandon is here. Leave mine on the table. I'm going for a walk first. Right after I said my piece? Do our king and queen have it out for me or something? Now, no need to get so upset, Tetsuya. You can stand and let it slide, at least for today. It's better to be welcomed with open arms and a drink than glares and demands, is it not? With this, we all will win. Now then, leave tonight's patrol to us, and do watch over the folks here in the club. Oh, I miss Goview. I'm sad that his artist is not doing anything for him. Oh, but that's another story for another day. Some soothing words for Tetsuya, Goview heads out for the club exit. The moment he's gone, I walk up and take his position next to Tetsuya. I'll be in your care for a while. Sorry for the trouble. Yeah, trouble is right. You got a lot of guts realizing that and showing up anyway. But if you plan on being as well behaved as you are now, I wouldn't mind treating you as a Kabukicho guest. Well, don't worry about me. Have a drink and go gallivant with the others. Tetsuya takes 2 drinks from the suited servants passing by him and hands me one. Does everyone have their glasses? Don't worry, drinks tonight are on me. In exchange, I'd like you to take care of my guest for a while. Now then, let's have a toast to the growth of Kabukicho, to the future of the Outlaws, and to our dear guest. Cheers. Cheers! Those of Kabukicho received me with open arms, as if my coming here is yet another peaceful, everyday event. When the guild members out on patrol return, I share drinks with all of them. Our cups acting as a vow of welcome. And so, my new life in Kabukicho begins. My first day at school as an exchange student comes a few days later.
Check it out.
It's about time to wake up Tsukiyomi. I should have taken a nap too. Going to school in this hour. Seeing that Tsukiyomi is awake, I start getting ready for school. Then I happen to remember what I was told a few days ago and pick up the clothes I placed on the corner of the room. I have to wear this to school, right? What's with this costume anyway? What are they making me do? I wonder what costume I'm wearing. Oh, you've already changed, Brandon? Looks like our costumes match. I guess I'm a dark priest then. Looks rad. Is this a wizard costume? I asked Kresnik what these are supposed to be when he gave them to me. And he said the idea is that we're astrologers in the vampire's castle, apparently. Okay, so I'm not Sypha. So I'm not Castlevania Sypha. Or who else is a mage? And when I say Castlevania Sypha, I mean the NES one, which was basically white mage in robe. Well, basically mage in robe. Not the Castlevania Judgment one. He wanted me, or rather us, to wear the costumes to blend into tomorrow's K-Fest. I imagine he wants us to look like we're actually participating in K-Fest, being outsiders and all. Outsiders. I'm not being all that welcomed? I kind of like the idea, honestly. I appreciate that you fear nothing. I fear everything. You know, you might adapt to the school a lot faster than I do. Still, an astrologer, huh? Sure, it's a costume, but the role does suit me. It does? Takabaka Hara, folks can read the stars? For you, my dear, there's nothing I can't do. I kid. But do let me keep up the appearance. Though I do happen to know day divination from the land of Wa, for my own reasons, and I do know Tokyo's fortune telling. Only at a hobby level, though. It comes in handy when serving guests, and for other matters as well. I wouldn't mind doing a reading for you whenever you'd like. Please don't. We're not that close. After answering me with a smile, Tsukiyomi checks the time. Well, it's about time to head for the academy. Are you ready, Brandon? I hear there's no classes today, but we don't want to be late for our first day and make a bad impression. I leave the safe house with Tsukiyomi, making our way to the outskirts of Kabukicho. Walking streets that have just been rained on while wearing this costume isn't terribly easy. Maybe I should see this as a good fortune instead, since the rain finally ended right before we started heading for school. Well, how about we take this time to review what I talked to you about a few days ago. We're on our way to Kabukicho Academy. Then, the school will be attending as exchange students. Starting tomorrow, they'll be hosting a school festival. According to our queen, the festival's theme is a vampire's castle. I imagine we're to be astrologers summoned by the master of the castle. Still, there's no pressure to play the part, so it may be best to simply think of this affair as a bit of a costume contest. Huh. Will Ellie be in costume too? Well, I'll keep quiet about that. Do see for yourself. Oh, and the rest of the outlaws are coming to visit on the day of the festival. Shino's coming? We finally get an episode title. Or not. While the two of us are chatting on the way to school in the academy proper.
This sucks. I can't use my rule. I can't use my rule. I got my mask broken by some musclehead pharaoh. I just can't catch a break. First of all, I can't figure out this slab thing. What do Tokyo people use this thing for anyway?
Having slipped out of the school building, Sphinx wanders the courtyard as he pokes and prods at his phone. Whoa, look at the size of that puddle. That's like a damn sea over here. Looks like the rain has done it at least. After I arrived at this temple, it's been raining ever since the sun came up. I'm glad I found the granary they call the concession stand. I guess the pharaoh has to eat. But I don't see anyone around here. Looks like they're from Aru. I don't see anyone around here who looks like they're from Aru. Is there anyone from my home in this world at all? They would be, if I remember the map correctly, they would be west. I believe one would be like towards, like, one would be like a bit northwest of here, and the other one would be like west of here, if I recall correctly. Speaking of Haru and oh god, dang it, Beastars. Speaking of Horus and Seth. Losing interest in the incomprehensible phone, Sphinx begins reflecting on what has happened. Ever since stumbling into the building, he'd seen only unfamiliar species. None of the transients he's laid eyes on bore any familiar traits. The only connection he felt with his homeland lay on the one they called Queen. Queen, or Pharaoh, title and post Aru given directly by the world representative, and one that comes with a certain role. If a pharaoh is in this temple, then Tokyo must surely have a faith similar to that of Aru's. Freshly summoned to Tokyo and trusting his eyes, Sphinx believes that must be the case. Still, he has not run into anyone who appears to be from Aru. Yeah, you're gonna have to travel a bit to see them. We have very few people from Aru. We need more transients from Aru. I drew one up. Wanna see it? The possibility that he might be a stranger in a strange land begins creeping into his thoughts, making him uneasy. Nope, not thinking about this. No reason to think about stuff that's not even worth hypothesizing about. That face says otherwise. That face is like... plot. More importantly, how am I to get my rule? Sphinx unexpectedly bumps into someone since he's staring at his phone while walking. Oh, are you okay? Sorry for not stepping out of the way. Ow! 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 Oh, sorry about that. I wasn't looking... Huh? Wait. Wait, my weird slab is gone! Sphinx looks down and notices the phone got knocked from his hand when he collided with me. Weird slab? The thing Tsukiyomi caught? Ah, so you call this a slab then? Good thing I caught it before it fell into that puddle. Now, do tell. What would you happen to have been summoned to Tokyo? To have just been summoned? Tsukiyomi questioned Sphinx while returning the phone he caught. Yeah, I have. Wait, you know what this thing is? But of course, there's hardly a transient in Tokyo who doesn't know what one of these is. There are even some non-transients who use phones with the app installed. Isn't that right, Brandon? Drafting me into the conversation? Yeah, I'm pretty good with mine. Want me to show you how to use it? Really? Could you teach? Actually, I can figure this thing out in the blink of an eye. But if you absolutely insist on showing me, I'll humor you. Hmm. God, me teaching me how to use technology. It's not that I can't. I would get frustrated trying to teach someone. At Sphinx's coaxing, I teach them the basics of how to operate a phone and use the app. Accompanying my lesson is the simple explanation of Tokyo, the 23 worlds connected to it, and transients. Oh, yeah! I get it. So this app thing here is automatically translating the language we transients speak then. Okay, so they work like Star Ocean 3's communicators. Well, universal communicators. And that's what keeps order in Tokyo, even with its connection to 23 worlds. Though no one knows who made the thing. We kinda know now. Tokyo's got some pretty cool gimmicks to it, though. Like, you can use this thing to talk to people far away, and even send them letters and stuff. Now that's cool! Wow, now that's something. Piecing together all of those ideas from scraps of information you gave me. Well, obviously, you're just dumb, and I happen to be a real pro when it comes to solving puzzles and stuff. I wouldn't say I'm not thankful for you telling me about this phone and the app, though. Oh, right, I hadn't told you my name yet. I'm Sphinx, a transient from Aru. I'm Tsukuyomi. I may not look it with this outfit, but I'm a transient at Takamagahara. I'm Brandon. Fine. I'll be friendly, Brandon. And Tsukuyomi? Nice to meet you. What was that? Feels like I just saw a blink of something really off. Was I imagining it? Oh, well, I don't have the time to waste here. Sorry, but I gotta get going. There's something I have to test out. Let's meet again when I'm done. Sphinx runs off, looking as impatient as one can be. And off he goes into the school building. But did he just get summoned to Tokyo? But he did just get summoned to Tokyo, did he not? Has he done his paperwork? It's not entirely impossible, but would a transient really come to Tokyo alone while knowing almost nothing about it? I'm not too fond of moving around, but I think we should go after Sphinx. Let's go, Brandon. What's that light? Tsukuyomi! Alright, now that I know how Tokyo works, I got this in the bag. So I just have to use this app to use my rule, right? Alright, here we go. My rule is... Back in the school building, Sphinx boots up the app and deploys his sacred artifact. His rule empowers the hieroglyphs he's carved throughout the school. And a moment later, the Kabukicho Academy fuses with the appearance of another world. Oh great, now it really is Castlevania! So, how long do we have to go to make the castle flip upside down? And there's an update.